Okay. So good morning, everyone. To you all. So our agenda for today, first and foremost, welcome to the session. So what is our agenda for today? So our agenda for today is as follows. So we're gonna talk about, I want to make this as a learning session. So we want to talk about what is ATP. So that is our first topic. And most of the people know what is ATP and all that. And I want to more focus what is Advanced ATP and what is difference between ATP and Advanced ATP. So I would like to focus the discussion on this topic. This topic is more available to promise for many customers, specifically in the manufacturing and all that. It's very relevant. It's a very simple concept, but it's for a lot of people, it's a fairly important concept. They want to understand what is, how this can be used, and what are the functions, what are the capabilities. So that is where we're going to talk about these three things today. Good morning, LD. So what is ATP? ATP is available to promise. What is Advanced ATP? And then what is the difference between ATP and Advanced ATP? So that is what we will be discussing today. Again, thank you everyone for joining the session. So let's continue with our discussion. Good morning, Sarika. So let me open the first little bit of a concept, and then I will go into the system. Most of my time will be spent in the system. So we'll discuss more and more in the system. Good morning, Manisha. So what is availability or ATP check? ATP check basically checks if the item is available. So when I'm getting a sales order, at that time, system checks if I have a sufficient quantity in a particular warehouse and for a particular date. So three parameters. So for that item, I need 100 pieces. I need in my warehouse 1, and I need on April 15. So three parameters. If I have quantity available in a particular warehouse for a requirement date, system, this is a standard ATP check. If item is available for quantity, for a warehouse, for a date. Now, in a simple ATP or available to promise, how system calculate ATP. It's very simple arithmetic actually. This is the standard ATP I'm talking about, which many of you may already be aware. So how the ATP is calculated? So available quantity is basically a simple arithmetic. If you see here this picture, so this is the simple arithmetic which we can have. If I highlighted this point, so available quantity is basically what I have in a stock and minus commitment plus ordered. Now, what is the meaning of that? Is available quantity is equals to in stock minus committed plus ordered. So I have in stock 1,000 pieces. Committed basically means how many sales orders I already have. That is minus, because those sales orders already considered to be committed. System reduces it. And then we have ordered. Ordered basically means how many purchase order we have. So this is ordered, for example, purchase order. Committed means sales order. In stock basically means how much I have. Simple arithmetic. That is how a simple arithmetic happens when a system doing ATP check, right? So, and this is a standard ATP. I'm not talking about advanced ATP yet. This is our standard inventory data in item master, which all of us are aware of. What I'm doing is I'm first talking about what is standard ATP. Then it is easy for us to understand what is advanced ATP. So then we can compare both. So when we talk about inventory data in item master, so if you look at it, for a particular item, what system do that? Okay, in this warehouse, general warehouse, in its stock, I have a 788. Right? Committed is 38. Ordered is 1,000. So how much available quantity becomes 750? Now how that comes? Let's look at this picture. This number carefully. Is a simple arithmetic. So in the stock, I have 688. So when I go to in this warehouse, I have a 688 pieces. When I look at the commitment basically means when I look at the sales order. In the sales order, I already have sales order for this item for 38 pieces. So 688 minus 38 becomes 650. Ordered is 100. Ordered basically means, for example, we have a purchase order. So how much is available? So my available stock becomes 750. So that is how system calculate our ATP check. And that is how ATP check actually works. So 688 minus 38 plus how much is ordered. So my available stock becomes 750. And that is how ATP check works. Okay. So that is how ATP check will be working, and that is how system calculate how much stock I have. It's a simple arithmetic and simple calculation which system do. Now we have two options. The first option is standard ATP check, which I'm very sure most of you are familiar with what is standard ATP check. And then second one, here what we have is the advanced ATP check. So now, how does standard ATP check works? So when I'm getting a sales order, and then when I go take any customer, so I select the date, on what date I need a material. I need this material, say on this date. I select an item. So I can choose an item which I want. and I need 10 pieces. So simple sales order, as we are creating many of us. Right? Now this pop-up window appears to us. Now this pop-up, this is a standard ATP. This is not advanced ATP. I'm not yet reached to the advanced ATP yet. I'm still describing what is a standard ATP, which many of you must already be aware that what is standard ATP, right? So here what system does, it tells me that for this item FIG 198 pressure vessel, in this warehouse, ordered quantity is 10 pieces. So that basically means I have a 10 pieces which is ordered. Requested delivery date is April 9th, means on 9th I need 10 pieces. And then system tells me that I have a 0 quantity. And system tells I have a 0 quantity. So means I don't have it. Now this information is very helpful. So if I'm talking from customer perspective, for many companies, this information is very helpful that as of date on April 9th, do I have this stock? System tell me, I don't have it. I have a 0. What should I do? I can continue. I can change quantity. There is something called available to promise report. So I can check available to promise report. There is a report behind the scene which we can run. This is available to promise report, and this report also tell me I don't have anything. In this warehouse, ordered, committed, available, nothing is there. We don't have anything. Then system also tells me, do I have anything in other warehouse? This is a standard ATP. I'm not yet reached to the advanced ATP yet. Yeah? So do I have anything in other warehouse? Well, in warehouse 01, 0, warehouse 02, 0, warehouse 04, 0, warehouse 05, 0, warehouse 6, 0, warehouse 7, 0. So in all other warehouse also, I don't have any stock. So every warehouse, so in this warehouse, nothing is stock, nothing is committed, nothing is ordered. Means I have a problem. Means this material I don't have in any of my warehouse. I have a warehouse 1, 2, 3, 8 warehouses. In none of these warehouses I have any stock. I don't have any committed. I don't have any ordered. In stock means what is physically there. Committed basically means, as we discussed before, how much of this quantity has already been committed to some other order. That is committed. And then ordered basically means that how much of this quantity has already been ordered. Okay. So ordered basically means if I have a purchase order. That is what we see here on this screen. So in this picture it says in this warehouse, how much is in stock, how much is committed, how much is ordered. That is what we see here. For this material in this warehouse, how much is stock? 0. How much committed? 0. How much ordered? 0. And if I do here this pressure vessel available, nothing is available. Now we have seen this situation. I don't want to save this. I close this and I say okay, and I close this order. I don't save this order because I don't have this. So now what I can do, I can either create a purchase order or I can create a production order, because if I don't have item, what I will be doing? I will be either buying from outside or I will be producing it, right? So let us say I create a simple purchase order. If I create a simple purchase order for the same item, so I go back, select any of my vendor, and then I select my item, same item I can choose. And for this item, I'm creating a order, pressure vessel, 100 pieces. So I create a purchase order for 100 pieces. Now look at this purchase order. What we are saying in this purchase order is that this item, pressure vessel, 100 pieces, and delivery date is 4/6, or I can choose delivery date as I want. So I say, okay, delivery date is 4/10. So delivery date is 4/10. Whatever date system is selecting, this is the quantity. This is standard purchase order as I'm creating, as we might have created many times. So it's a regular purchase order, okay, as we do many times. In this purchase order, I have a vendor, I put a material, I put a quantity, 100 pieces, and then I add it. And then we save. So what we did, we created a purchase order. Now, after creating purchase order, I want to check what is going on with this inventory situation, what is going on with the this item. So good inventory data. Now look at it here. Now ordered is coming 100. Ordered is coming 100 because I create a purchase order for 100 pieces, and available is coming 100. So now system knows that I have an PO. That is why it is called availability check, because it looks at the quantity which is actually not there, but there is a potential to come. Potential, possibility. So purchase order is a possibility. So here, system tells me that this item, pressure vessel, in stock, nothing is there. We don't have anything in stock because we have not got this material. But ordered is 100. Therefore, system says available is 100. Okay. After that, I want to create a, I have not yet reached to the advanced ATP. I'm still on the standard ATP. I will be going on advanced ATP yet. So do not confuse this with advanced ATP. This is not our agenda item. I'm still on standard ATP. So we select the sales order. I select the date. So system says that I need this material in the same sales order. I go to and put the quantity. I select the same item, pressure vessel, and let's say I need 10 pieces. Now we get the same message again. Same message again. Although I have a PO, but then what system tells me that this item FIG 198 pressure vessel in this warehouse, I need 10 pieces. This PO is this sales order is for 10 pieces. Yeah. But requested delivery date is 4/7. So this sales order is for 4/7, April 7th. System tells me available quantity at this moment is 0. 4/7 is 0. If you want, you can get it on 4/10. So earliest availability is 4/10 because I have a PO and that PO would be coming on 10th. Because this PO would be coming on the 10th, this information is very valuable for a lot of people. Sorry, sir, you asked this material on April 7th, but I don't have it on April 7th, but I can make it available on 4/10. Last time, it didn't have earliest delivery date. So when I go to last time it didn't give me even that date too. because last time I didn't have an PO. This time also I have a problem. If you need a material on April 7th, I don't have it. April 8th, I don't have it. April 9th, I don't have it. But April 10th, I have it. Because I have a purchase order, and that purchase order is for April 10th. And because that purchase order is for April 10th, therefore, if you need this stock, then I can make this stock available on April 10th. So we can make this material available on April 10th. Okay. So I don't have it today, but I can make it available on April 10th. If I want to check quantity in other warehouses as we did last time, so now this is the situation we have. Available is 100. In stock 0, committed nothing, ordered is 100 pieces. And that is how our standard ATP works. So that is the meaning of the earliest availability date is. If I want to check my availability report, I can check it, and in which I can say, well, in stock, I have a 0, ordered quantity is hundreds because I have a purchase order of 100 pieces. Available is 100, and that available date is 4/10. Means this PO which I have for 100 pieces, that PO would be delivered on 4/10. Now that is how a standard ATP works. This is in our SQL. This is not advanced ATP. So I close this and I come out of this. So I want to just explain a few minutes how our standard ATP works. So far, that is what I will be describing and discussing. Now we are coming to our agenda. Our agenda is what is advanced ATP and what are the other additional features which are there in SAP for advanced ATP. First and foremost, advanced ATP works only on SAP Hana. If you're not on SAP Hana, then it will not work. So advanced ATP only works on SAP Hana. It will not work in any other. It will not work on SQL. Okay. Then we have advanced ATP, provide additional functionality to create confirm schedule line. We'll talk about what is that basically means. You can see and delivery details. We'll see what is that basically means. And you can reschedule deliveries for the multiple documents. Reschedule. Now, what is this reschedule basically mean? That you cannot do in a SQL version, that you can only do in a SAP B1 on the HANA version. Okay. So now, we talked about ATP check. So this is a standard ATP, and I don't want to spend too much time. Already talked about. We looked at it. Item number, warehouse, quantity, we checked it. I pass on to this quickly. I don't want ATP report. We looked at it, and we know if you are doing a standard ATP, you have to automatic and all that we talked about. I don't want to waste my time. Now I want to come to the advanced ATP. That is our agenda for today. Now in the advanced ATP, what we have. So in the advanced ATP, we can have a delivery schedule details, delivery schedule details for different type of documents. We talk about what delivery schedule is. What is a confirmed quantity? So confirmed quantity basically means how much quantity you can confirm for a particular delivery date. Now there is something called checking rule. there is a concept of checking rules, which is there in Advanced ATP. This concept of checking rule is not there in Standard ATP. So we will talk about what is this checking rule is, and what does the checking rule actually means. What does the checking rule can be done? Now, another thing is, you can define checking rule, whatever that is. This checking rule is not there in SQL. This checking rule concept is only part of Advanced ATP. How does it work? We're going to see in the system. And you can define the checking rule for items or for item groups. So you have a two possibility that you can define this checking rule. Either you can assign to an item or you can assign to item group. Now, what does that basically mean? That also we're going to talk about how it is that assignment takes place and how that assignment is being done. So we'll talk about that as well. Checking rules, ATP check. Now, ATP check can be performed for many documents. That is very, very important point for us to understand, that when we are talking about Advanced ATP, that Advanced ATP can work on sales order. Of course, we saw that in sales order. Sales order ATP works. The regular ATP also works on sales order, because sales order is the primary document. But Advanced ATP also work on AR reserve invoices. Now, AR reserve invoice is not available, as I understand, in India. Version. Okay, so it is only available, as I understand, in overseas. In US version, there is a AR invoice. Okay, and it is not there in other documents. So there is a sales order. There is a AR reserve invoice. And we'll talk about what is this AR reserve invoice is. Then we have something called inventory transfer request. It works on so ATP check also works into inventory transfer request. ATP check also works purchase order with negative quantity. Purchase order with negative quantity means in case of returns. Purchase order with negative quantity. Purchase order with negative quantity basically means it is for purchase order where you are taking the material back in. Next is AP reserve invoice with the negative quantity. So the next concept is AP reserve invoice with the negative quantity. So we talk about what is this AP invoice with the negative quantity is. It works onto that also. And this ATP also works with production order. So ATP check or Advanced ATP works on these documents: sales order, AR invoice, inventory transfer request, purchase order with a negative quantity means in case of return, AP reserve invoice, and production order. Now, this is the Advanced ATP check process. Now look at this carefully. So when you're doing Advanced ATP check process, you have input. In the input, you have an item plus warehouse plus required quantity plus required date. So system take like what item, in which warehouse, what quantity, what date. It is common. This input is common. This input is also there in the Standard ATP. This how the system do available quantity is slightly different. Now look at this screen. This is the delivery schedule detail. Now this screen is not visible with it. It's only visible for Advanced ATP. Yeah. So what is this screen saying? We're going to see that in the system also. that this item Z0001 in this warehouse, my open quantity requirement is 10, and the required date is 0319, and there is something called delivery strategy. Look at the term, delivery strategy. Now, this concept of delivery strategy is only there in Advanced ATP. Now, what is this delivery strategy? In the delivery strategy, and we're going to see that in the system also, in the delivery strategy, there are three choices: delivery proposal, one-time delivery, complete delivery. Now, what is the delivery proposal? Delivery proposal basically means if I don't have everything today, so I need 100 pieces. And if I need 100 pieces, but in my stock I have 70, then system will give you two proposals. Okay, 70 you can go in this date, and 30 you can do it in this date. That is called delivery proposal. I have two proposals. I have two possibilities. The second option is, what is one-time delivery? One-time delivery basically means only delivery item can be sent on time. That basically means customer need 100 pieces, I have 70, and customer need 100 pieces on April 10th. But on April 10th, I have 70. 30 I don't have. Then system will create a delivery on 10th for 70 pieces. That is the one-time delivery. The third choice is complete delivery. So system tells, okay, I need the material on 10th. I need 100 pieces on 10th. I don't have 100 pieces on 10th. I only have 70 on the 10th, but 100 are available on April 15th. Then in the complete delivery, system will propose and say that you can get the 100 out of 100, but you will get that on 15th. You can do these three possibilities. Those three possibilities are not there in a standard ATP. A standard ATP does not support this. So that is one of the fundamental difference. So there is a concept of checking rule and checking groups, which is important. So that is the first concept. And the second concept, which is important, is you can have multiple delivery strategies. So this is a concept called delivery strategies. And there are three delivery strategies. We can see there in the system also that where these delivery strategies are defined. And these three delivery strategies have a three different meaning. So the first is delivery proposal, second is a one-time delivery, and third is complete delivery. So we have these three choices. Now, let us say I'm going to SAP Hana. So this is the SAP Hana system. So now this is the SAP Hana system. So this is a SAP Business SQL version, as you know, and this is SAP Hana system. Okay. Now, what is this basically means? Now let us say I take one item, and let's look at that picture. So let's say I go to my inventory. I go to my item data. Okay. And if I go to item data, I select my item FIG1. Now I am in HANA version. This is HANA version. So I have a finished good one. This is hydraulic valve. And I go to inventory data. And this is the situation we have right now. For this hydraulic valve, we have 100 pieces in stock right now. One piece is committed, means I have a open sales document or demand document for one piece. Now in Advanced ATP, committed means not sales order all the time, because in Advanced ATP, that commitment goes many documents. It could be reserve invoice also. It could be sales order also. It could be production order also. It could be inventory transfer document also. It could be my purchase order with the negative inventory also. So because ATP check is enabled for multiple documents in Advanced ATP. So I have a available stock 199, which is simple. So 200 minus 1 become 199. So if I check inventory right now, I have a 199 available. Okay. I close this. Okay. So, and I want to go and place an order. So I go to sales order. I create a sales document. I select any of my sales order, any of my customer, and I select the date. So this is the date which we have. This is the date I need this material. I enter the quantity. I enter the item FIG1. This is hydraulic valve. I need 300 pieces, or whatever quantity, right? So I need. Now this screen opens up. Now this screen is not visible in standard standard ATP. This delivery schedule screen, which is available, is only available to us in Advanced ATP. Now, what is this basically telling us? So first it tells me that this item FIG1 in this warehouse, I need 300 pieces. Item description is hydraulic valve. Warehouse description is general warehouse. Inventory unit measure is each. And required delivery date is 4/7. And in the delivery proposal, I have these choices. And then system telling me that I need 700 pieces. But on this date, I only have a 199. We saw that. We only have a 199. If I go to ATP quantity, if you see here, there's the ATP quantity checkbox here. And this is information appears to me, which tells me that this item FIG1 in this warehouse, in stock, I have 100 pieces. I have a order. This is OR. And this order is for 99 pieces. So this order is there. In this order, I have this is OR 1186. Look at star company. Order date 4/5. Delivery date 4/5. And commitment is of 1. Means I have OR means I have a sales order. So that basically means 100 minus 1 become 99 because one piece is gone. Then I have a PO. This PO delivery date is 4/5, which is for 100 pieces. So 99 plus 100, my available stock become 199. On, I need 300 pieces. So I'm simulating, and this date of 4/7, I have a commitment of 300 pieces, means I need 300 pieces. So available stock is minus 101, means 199 minus 300 become 101. So I can only confirm 199. So if I want, I can only confirm 199. There is also something called alternative item here. So if I go to alternative item, so do I have other choice? So if I go back here, then system tells me that I have a FIG1. This is the item description, hydraulic valve. Item number FIG2. And for this item, I have this item, which is a possibility. So for hydraulic valve, I have another item FIG2. I can tell customer, please go ahead and buy this. In stock, I have 100 pieces too. So that's a good news. And actually, this is a new version of the hydraulic valve. And this is a 100% match. So because I'm short of inventory, therefore I can tell the customer that I have another item which is a close match of 100%. So we can do cross-selling. Otherwise, I might lose an order because I don't pay. And if I go back to tree structure, in the tree structure, I can see that for this item, FIG1, hydraulic valve, FIG1, hydraulic valve, I have a FIG2, which is mechanical hydraulic valve. So this is the relationship between the two FIG1 and FIG2. I close that. I close that. Okay. I close this window. And here, we also have something called check availability option. So system tell me availability check completed successfully. Okay, I don't want to confirm. I close this window. Now here, another thing. So we saw that this screen is different because it gives you far more different options, which is not there in the standard AP. Now, if you look at my screen, there is something called availability to promise check, this window. Okay. Now, what is this window? Now, this is another feature which is there this is called check ATP without a document. So that basically means you don't need to do ATP. Just when you enter the sales order, you can simulate without having a document also. Now, where is that basically means and what does it do? So let us say I enter the item FIG1. Okay. I need 300 pieces. And when I do 300 pieces, it comes up with a red color. This red color tells me that I only have availability of 199. So if I check in this item, checking its required quantity, it becomes red. If I change this quantity and make it 40, check the quantity, availability report, enter my item, FIG1, and the system tells me that this red color basically means I don't have it. If I go to alternative item, system tells me that this item FIG1, 2 is an alternative. Do I want to select? No, I don't want to select that. And then I can check other dates also. What is the situation with other dates? Every date we have a problem because I'm already under supply because availability is not there. So wherever we get this red color, I want to check into other warehouses. I can check in other warehouses also, or I can check in a specific warehouse and I can choose that. This is basically allowing me to check inventory without entering a document. I can choose any other document also, or I can choose any other item also. So let's say I put another item, FIG2. What is the situation with this item? Now this FIG2, this is blue color. Now, why the coloring? So coloring schema basically means because for the FIG2, I don't have any order and I have 100 pieces. So if I check the availability of another item, FIG2, then this comes into blue color. So red color means that item is not available on those dates, and system gives me horizon. I can choose the date, whether those date it is aligned or not aligned. I make this quantity as 200. Now the moment I make 200, then it becomes red color, because I only have 100. So 200 is a problem. If I make 100, blue. If I make 101, red. The system tells me I can, because I have this 100 pieces in stock, so I need 101 is red. If I need 100 pieces, is blue, and is blue is available to the horizon we have checked. So this functionality of doing ATP check without document is only available in SAP B1 HANA version. We don't need to enter a sales document for that. So that is what we see here. This is called check ATP without a document. And there's a color schema, red color or blue color, on what date that item is available, that item is not available. Now, there is also something we talked about, setting for advanced ATP. So what kind of a configuration we require? What is the configuration which would be needed to enable ATP check? So the very first thing which you're going to do, if I close this, I don't want to save this document. So the first thing which we go back, and I'm in, this is only there in HANA version. So here we have something called enable advanced available to promise. So you need to have this checkbox on. It's a simple checkbox. So once you have, then advanced ATP is active. So this is a configuration. And we talk about checking rules. So what is the checking rules? And that is, checking rules concept is not there. It's only there in HANA. Now the checking rules, A, you can define, as we discussed, as we are going to see now. And secondly, the checking rules, you can assign to an item and you can assign to item group. You cannot do that in SQL. So by doing that, now what is the significance of that? Is that basically means you can have a different ATP check for different items at different item groups. You cannot do that in SQL. In SQL, either you have ATP or you don't have it. You can, it is difficult to do ATP check by item or item group. Here in the HANA version, you can do these ATP checks specific to an item or item group. If you don't want certain item group to be ATP check, you can exclude. If you want, you can include. Certain item you want, you can include. Certain item don't want, you can exclude. And in the different checking group also, you can define different parameters. Now, what is that basically mean? The different parameters. So if you go to checking rules here, so there is an AA. This AA is a default rule. So this AA is a default checking rule. You can create your own as many as you want. So AA come out of the default. So now what is there in this default checking rule? So AA is the default checking rule. We go to details. Now look at it here. So first and foremost, include past planned receipt. Past planned receipt. That is what you can do. Past planned receipt basically means I have a PO which has gone out. Perform ATP check automatically. So any of these documents, sales document and others, if I want to do ATP check, I system do ATP check automatically, or we don't want. We have a choice now. We can do manually, we can do automatically. If I select that, I can do ATP check automatically. If not, then I can do it manually. Then the third is display delivery schedule details for unconfirmed and detailed quantity. For unconfirmed and delayed quantity. Delivery schedule. Delivery schedule basically means if I don't have it today, then system should tell me when it is available to me. And the third and last one is allow delivery of unconfirmed and delayed quantity or not. So that basically means at the end of the ATP check, two things will happen. Either quantity will be confirmed or date will not be confirmed. If it is confirmed, I should go ahead with the delivery. But if it is not confirmed, then I should not go ahead with the delivery. But if I select this option, I can still do the delivery even if it is unconfirmed. That is the choice we have right now. Cumulative strategy, which basically means required quantity on the creation date or the change. So what is the cumulative quantity sum for that is? And then we have a delivery proposal. In the delivery proposal, we have these three choices. That is what we discuss here in the PDF. And we have these three choices. Now, these choices appears when we are, these are the three choices, delivery strategy. And that you define here. Delivery proposal, one-time delivery, complete delivery. Now, what is delivery proposal? Delivery proposal basically means system give me proposal. I need 100 pieces. On April 10th, I only have a 70, 30 is available on 15. System give me 2 dates. That's called proposal. One-time delivery basically means system need on 10, I have a 70, system created a delivery for 70, 30 is ignored. Complete delivery basically means I have an entire quantity available on April 15th, then system ignored 10th date and give me entire quantity on 15th. So you have three choices. You cannot do, this is only possible in Advanced ATP. Maximum number of delivery proposals, you can only deliver an item 9 times. You can only deliver this item 9 times. Okay. We close this, we close this, we close this. So this is the configuration of this. Now I want to go back to the item. I go back to the item. I look at the item data. I define the item data. And if I go to item data, I select my item. And if I go to item group here, in the item group, I have a checking rule assigned. So you can assign checking rule at item group level. Okay. So that is the first level of assignment. So we define there, we can assign here. And the second part is, if you go to planning data here, in this planning data also you can define checking rule. So you can assign, this is the AA is the default checking rule that you can assign to item level also, you can assign to item group level. If you assign at the item group level, by default it comes to item. Okay. So if we define at the item group level, by default is assigned to item because all items belonging to that group get automatically assigned. Okay. So that is the configuration of this checking rule, checking group. All this configuration which we discussed is only there in is only there in Advanced ATP. Now there is something called delivery schedule management. If you see here, my screen, there is a delivery schedule management. There is a ATP check, and there is a delivery schedule management. If I go here, and if I choose an item, okay. Now this capability of delivery schedule management is only available in a Advanced ATP. Now, what is this delivery scheduling tool? So in delivery scheduling tool, you can expand the sales order to view the detail on the quantity to be delivered. So here you have all these different documents, all these different transactions, which are done on different dates. So there is a sales order on this business partner, quantity 1, confirmed yes, unconfirmed nothing, delivery date on this. There is AR reserve invoice on this date, confirmed 1, unconfirmed nothing. I have another sales order, which is for quantity 4,000. And in this 4,000, 790 is delayed. 790 is delayed. If you go back here, now system tells me that this sales order, this quantity, 4,000 pieces, because as per the availability which is created on 11/20, 3,210 are confirmed for 11/20 because that availability is there. So that quantity is confirmed. And then, so there is a delivery schedule 2. And on that date, we have a 790 pieces. And that 790 pieces is actually not confirmed on the date where customer was asking for it. So it is confirmed on January 21 after 61 days delays. That is an example of a delivery proposal. That is an example of a delivery proposal. That is what we see here. You can also change the quantity, 4,000. You can go to next order, schedule 1, confirm this quantity. You can go to sales order directly from here. You can check the sales order situation. Okay, so this is another order where you can check schedule, confirm the date. So this is the delivery. Now also you can change the quantity as well. Okay, if you want to change it quantity, you can change. You can flag and drop here also. You can move it if possible. So what this does basically, move quantities between the orders. Move quantity between the orders. So if you want, is unconfirmed quantity, because in case it is all, you can move it. You can confirm order with an unconfirmed quantity. That you cannot do in a SQL. You can only do in HANA version. So there is confirm, unconfirmed. For us, nothing is unconfirmed in this anyways. But if you have some unconfirmed, you can check inventory status. So you can see what is inventory status is, directly go from there. So that's why it is called delivery schedule management. What does it do? Move quantity between the orders. You cannot, and that is very helpful in case of orders where you have some orders on priority. So we have high priority order, which is unconfirmed. So then I can pull the quantity. Okay. So that is the delivery schedule. So few things. So first of all, thank you for coming. And I want to go to the detail. So we had a few topics. So we also have advanced forecasting, which we didn't do today. But I want to go in the detail, so it makes a meaningful session. So where we can learn. We also didn't talk about our dashboards, and which we will talk. And we will also we're going to talk Zoho. And I am planning other sessions also where we can possibly learn few things in detail as possible, which is useful for us. So I want to take this ATP because this is Advanced ATP is one of the enhancements which we have in HANA version, which is not there in the standard in SQL version. There is another topic called forecasting, and that also I'm going to plan and will inform. There is a advanced dashboards and other topics. So I wanted to go through them as well. And then tomorrow is Zoho CRM. So what basically I'm going to do that tomorrow we will discuss Zoho CRM, which is from functional perspective. So, and so in that we basically going to talk two things. We're going to discuss the process and capabilities. It is a lot of capabilities. It's very difficult to talk, and then we're going to talk about how can we do simple configuration. So there are simple configurations. So how those configurations can be done in the Zoho CRM. So how you can create templates, how can you do add-ons, and how you can create a new view, how can you add a new field. So all those different things we will be discussing and talking tomorrow. Okay. So that is our agenda for tomorrow. And again, thank you all. And we'll continue having our session. So thank you, everybody. And please be safe. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you all.